feeling sorry for the guy that has mocked people with mental health issues multiple times. Perez Hilton. Like when Britney Spears was going through a breakdown, he completely belittled her. And then to go on live and have a breakdown and do what he's done in front of thousands of people, isn't that a little bit attention seeking? I believe in this life you reap what you sow. And we can't forget that he became famous for being a nasty piece of work.
Perez Hilton is currently recovering in hospital after a mental health crisis that played out live on TikTok this week. But almost as big as the story itself has been the reaction to it, because a huge chunk of the internet's response hasn't been sympathy. It's been people bringing up exactly how he treated other people for the better part of 2 decades. Quick context if you're just catching up. Hilton built one of the most influential celebrity gossip sites of the 2000s, known for an unfiltered, often brutal tone toward the stars he covered. That's the part that's coming back around right now.
Why are we now feeling sorry for the guy that has mocked people with mental health issues multiple times? Perez Hilton. Like when Britney Spears was going through a breakdown, he completely belittled her. And then to go on live and have a breakdown and do what he's done in front of thousands of people, isn't that a little bit attention seeking? I believe in this life you reap what you sow. And we can't forget that he became famous for being a nasty piece of work. He used to abuse women and he used to leak sexual images of people online. And for someone that used to think mental health was such a joking matter, and now going through a breakdown, I think that's fucking hilarious. What goes around comes around and all that. Anyway, yeah, let's not feel sorry for him because, you know, yeah, he may be a human being, but he's a bit of an arsehole. Anyway, that was just my opinion. I said what I said. Sorry, not sorry.
On Tuesday night, Hilton went live on TikTok from his Miami home. Concerned viewers called police. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office confirmed deputies responded, spoke with family on scene, and chose to de-escalate rather than force entry. He was safely recovered and taken to hospital. On Wednesday, his family posted directly to his website saying, quote, "We can confirm that Perez is receiving medical care, and our family's focus right now is on his well-being." In a follow-up statement, they said he's now able to communicate, which they called a source of hope. So that's confirmed. Now here's where it gets complicated, because the online reaction has been split in a way you don't always see with a story like this. A lot of people did send real support. Comment sections and posts were full of people saying they hoped he recovered, that nobody deserves to go through a public breakdown, that mental health crises should get compassion regardless of who the person is.
We have another update about Perez Hilton, and this time it's from his family members and his team. They posted a link to this statement several hours ago over on the Book of Faces. They wrote, "Many of you have reached out with concern for Perez, and we're incredibly grateful for the overwhelming outpouring of love, support, and prayers. We can confirm that Perez is receiving medical care, and our family's focus right now is on his well-being. We kindly ask that you respect Perez's privacy as well as the privacy of his family during this difficult time. If and when we are able to share any updates, we will do so with everyone as soon as we can. Thank you for your compassion, understanding, and continued support. The Perez Hilton team and family." So like I said, this was posted on Perez's FB. The link is there to the same exact statement. But thankfully, Perez has gotten medical treatment and hopefully he is on the road to recovery and they figure out what exactly happened. Again, if you have not yet seen the videos, I highly suggest that you not go search them out. They are deeply disturbing, and if you see them posted anywhere on social media, report them.
But scroll further and you'll see a completely different conversation happening at the same time. People are directly naming the celebrities he targeted over the years and asking why he deserves sympathy now that he didn't extend to them. Britney Spears' name has come up constantly, tied to how he covered her during her most publicized struggles in the 2000s, including calling her an unfit mother during the period documented in Framing Britney Spears. Amanda Bynes gets brought up just as often for similar reasons, mocking her during a period when she was also visibly struggling. Miley Cyrus is another name in this conversation. He called her demeaning names when she was 15, and later posted a photo of her that got him dropped by advertisers, with a lawyer at the time saying it bordered on legally dangerous territory given her age. People are also pointing to Lady Gaga, once one of his closest celebrity friendships, who's spoken since about how that relationship soured over his behavior.
Okay, some of you are so concerned with feeling morally superior to the point that you are intentionally failing to understand the context of why some bad people deserve their bad karma. Most sane people would never leave a child alone in a room with Perez Hilton because that's how predatory and evil he has been to kids. If you do not know the 2007 Perez Hilton Adam Sandler's daughter incident, you do not know Perez Hilton. And I understand right now that we live in a world where you can see a piece of media, feel that empathy, and to be honest, move on with your day. But context matters, specifically with Perez Hilton. We are talking about a man who on national TV has gone out of his way to call toddlers and 10-year-olds fat, tubby, chubby, ugly, all of the things. That's who he is. He's done that repeatedly. I don't think that someone who goes after children and intentionally targets minors has the capability to see their wrongs and change. I think that if you are already wired to have the capability and capacity to target minors, you are not a good person. Context matters. It matters so much with Perez Hilton. You cannot just watch his live and be like, oh, I feel bad for him and we need to feel bad for him. No. Any bitch over the age of 24 who lived through the early 2000s saw what Perez Hilton did to children's eating disorders and women's eating disorders. That's the facts. Many people are walking around on this earth right now with eating disorders solely because of Perez Hilton.
And it's not just individual insults people are bringing up. There's a specific thread of criticism about how he covered celebrities' own families, going after their kids, their parenting, their personal lives, in ways he's since said, in his own words, he deeply regrets. That's the exact point a lot of commenters are making right now, that the harm wasn't only aimed at the celebrities themselves, it extended to the people around them too. One comment that's been widely shared put it directly, quote, Perez Hilton bullied Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes into full-blown public mental breakdowns back in the 2000s. So yeah, my sympathy for his own is at a bare minimum. Another user tied it to Wendy Williams, saying both of them spent years mocking people going through mental health struggles and are now going through it themselves, calling it karma directly.
Perez Hilton's family wants privacy at this time. But my question is this: did you grant Britney Spears her privacy when she was going through her intense mental health struggles that was highly publicized by you and many other media outlets? No, you didn't. Instead, you published unflattering photos of her and continued to mock her. You want privacy, but you live stream your mental health crisis for all to see, including possibly children. TikTok banned his account, by the way, rightfully so. I want to make it very clear. I wholeheartedly support anyone that's going through a mental health struggle. I'm a mental health advocate, but I have a huge problem when you sit here and act like you are not the culprit to someone else's mental health issue.
Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.